Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 302. Today, the lesson is the difference between a straight face and poker face. Sometimes I'll get students ask what's the difference between these two, because in both cases, usually somebody is showing a face that shows no emotion. But, we'll look at the different situations in which people would probably use one instead of the other. All right, so let's take a look at the note here first. If we say a straight face, a facial expression that shows no emotion, especially to hide the desire to laugh. Yeah, that's probably the most common reason we say a straight face, because we use it in humor all the time, or a situation where it's supposed to be funny, but you got to hold back and just try to keep a straight face in order to not laugh. So that's probably the number one way that we use straight face. All right, let's continue. The term is often used in the idiom to keep a straight face, which is done to put someone at ease. And sometimes we might do it to help keep somebody calm, so they won't get too nervous, or they won't get upset for some reason, or sometimes used in humor to tell a joke. Again, there's the one with the joke. All right, let's continue. Of course, a poker face is definitely used while playing cards, so that you don't give away your cards. Now, of course, if we say you give away your cards, it means if you show too much emotion, people may be able to guess what your cards were. So if you're playing poker and you got a good card and you pick it up and go, oh boy, everybody knows that you got a good card. So they'll know that your hand is probably good. Or even show bad cards, like pick up and, oh, if they made a face like that, everybody would pretty much have a good idea how good a hand you may or may not have. All right, so let's continue. So, of course, a poker face is definitely used while playing cards so that you don't give away your cards. That's what we mean by that. And especially if you plan on bluffing. All right, bluffing, that's when you really do have bad cards, but you pretend you have good cards, and you hope that you can show a lot of confidence and maybe overbet the person, and the person just gives up, and you could win the hand that way, even though you really had bad cards. Or it could be other situations in life where you are bluffing. Maybe you were challenged against somebody who is stronger than you, and you still pretend like you are tough and you can beat them, hoping that they will back down. You could be bluffing too. In that sense, you could probably be keeping a poker face. You're using it as a strategy, to deal with your enemies, or deal with whoever you're dealing with. All right, let's continue. All right, here. In other situations, poker face is used not to give away one's motives, means your reasons for doing something, or the real reason for doing something. So you want to show no expression, so your competitor or your enemy cannot read your face and figure out, whether he has an advantage or not. All right, let's continue. In business, if someone makes you an offer that is much better than you expected, you should try to keep a poker face. So again, just like when you get good cards, don't look too excited, like, ooh, you're offering me this? Wow. Keep a straight face, like, oh, okay, maybe I'll take it. Something like that. So again, you can keep your advantage. Okay, let's continue. All right, a straight face is used more for humor. All right, we said that a couple of times. Or to avoid upsetting someone, or hiding your sad feelings. Maybe yourself, you feel sad and you don't want other people to realize you're sad, and you might keep a straight face for that reason. All right, let's continue. A poker face is put on. So poker face is often pretended. Often as a strategy. Like I said, it's in a plan, in competitions, in battle. Definitely for playing cards, but especially not to lose an advantage or possibly to deceive someone. Okay, good. And now we're going to give examples here that will help more. That type of humor in which comedians keep a straight face while telling a joke is referred to as dry humor. So here, straight face, it has to do with humor, comedy. We definitely use straight face. We would not use poker face in this situation. Number two, it was difficult to keep a straight face while we were pulling a prank on her. So maybe you're pulling a joke or a prank prank or a trick on somebody, and you don't want them to realize that you're pulling the trick on them yet. You're trying to stop yourself from laughing. You might think it's funny already, especially if it's working. All right, number 3. Even though I was also nervous, I had to keep a straight face so my daughter wouldn't panic. Yeah, maybe the mother was in a situation where she herself was nervous, but she realized if she acted too nervous, maybe her daughter would get really panicked and scream, and that would be worse. She'd have more to deal with, so she tried to keep a straight face to hide her emotions so that her daughter would be more calm. So in that case, we're more likely, again, to use straight face. Okay. Number 4, when playing poker, you should always keep a poker face. Of course, this is where the phrase really came from. That's really the origin of the phrase poker face. When you get either very good cards or disappointing ones. Yeah, I explained that part already. And number 5, Lady Gaga had titled one of her hit songs Poker Face. Yeah, I did try to look up and see about this, about why did she call this song Poker Face, and she gave an explanation kind of like this, where it's partly dealing with her bisexuality, as she said, that maybe if she is making love with a man, that she might really be thinking of a woman while she's making love with the man, and it's she has to keep a poker face, so to see if the guy really so that he doesn't figure out what she's really thinking at that time. So anyway, that's what I read. That's what I said. So that's actually deceptive too. So again, poker face might be used with strategy, deception, keep an advantage when you're competing. Straight face is about humor, but also keeping people at ease so that they don't panic, or maybe even to sometimes hide if you're sad about something, and you don't want that to bother other people too. Anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.